And let's go to our chairs and start this Monday morning practice. And I hope that I checked the microphone levels and it looks like the settings are right. So hopefully you'll have good sound, and like last week that we had some issues. And let's start sitting on our chairs. So find the very edge of your chair as you sit. No sitting back, no resting your back on the back of the chair. You need plenty of room between your back and the back of the chair. I'll scoot back a little bit so that there's more room to see me here. And you bring your feet hip distance apart, feet to parallel, no toes out, no toes in, so that not only your feet are hip distance apart, but the knees are hip distance apart. So now you're aligning from hips to knees to feet, all on the same line. Your feet, therefore, are spreading and sharing the weight evenly of your legs instead of more to the outer edge or inner edge or front or back. And another important component here as your legs are in this position is that your feet should be right underneath the knees. You shouldn't be bringing the feet further forward. I'm opening the legs so you can see. You want to have your shin bone here perpendicular to the floor. So no foot out, no foot in, just right underneath the knee. Meaning that the heel and ankle are right underneath the knee. And then final touch, you relax your hands on top of your lap and you relax your shoulders, you close your eyes, you give a little tilt to the pelvis and the hips forward so that the tailbone and the sit bones can roll back a little bit. So instead of rounding into your low back, you have a slight arching or a sensation of arching. And that's where we're starting at. And not only starting, this is our neutral position to which we come back to often if we get in other positions of the legs, and from which we move for several movements, several sequences that we do along this class. And with your eyes closed, start breathing in and breathing out through your nose. Noticing how deep or how shallow your breath is. Not that you have to judge yourself and criticize your breathing here, just acknowledging and noticing where you're at the start of class. And feel the sensation of the breath. The breath so often is not being seen, not being acknowledged. It comes spontaneously, fortunately, because if we stop breathing, that's it, that's the end. So the beauty of this magical body is that a lot of the functions of the body, the very basic foundational functions, are happening without us having to make a conscious effort and being reminded of. But on the other side, we just take it for granted and we just forget about it. And therefore, we reside much more into our headspace, which compromises the ability to full function of breath, for example. So you'll notice that when you switch your attention to your breath, progressively or spontaneously, the breath takes back its function and its predominant ability to fully breathe in and fully breathe out instead of shallow breathing. Now you're able to explore the full capacity of your lungs as you become more and more in touch with your breath, which in turn give you better health and a calmer nervous system. It's a powerful tool to fight stress and anxiety. We need those tools in the present times. So simply being here in your body and the flow of your breath and allowing your breath to be a scanner device, a scanning device to see how the body feels this morning. Tapping into the different parts of your body and noticing where there's ease and comfort, as well as noticing where there's already like some tightness, achiness, restriction. And opening the eyes, sliding your hands forward, a little lower to on the legs to maybe the top of the knees. And we're gonna start gently rocking the pelvis, the hips forward and back. Nice and easy movement here. I'm gonna go sideways so you can see, because in this front plane you cannot see much. So here, you're starting narrow and easy. And especially because some of you may have already some achiness in the low back. That's pretty usual. And so you don't want to force that into increasing the achiness. You actually want to softly release it. So you get into those nice and fluid rocking, rolling motions of the pelvis. And as the pelvis gets a little looser here, can go a little broader from forward to back, from arching and maybe bringing the shoulders back here, opening the throat to rounding. And here you can use your feet for this movement. Instead of relying only on your torso, you can use your feet pushing and pulling forward and back, as well as your hands pressing onto your legs. And let's add to this movement as we get a little more comfortable with the rocking and we know where we're going. I'm going to face you for this one. So you keep your rocking action into the pelvis and the hips. And then we're going to add the arms. Bring one arm at a time and back and left and back. When you're stretching your arm forward, you're rocking the hips forward. And when you're rolling your arm back, you're rounding your back. And nice and easy, my arm is not completely straight. And rock and swim. And just a few more. Find your breath, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And last one on each side. And back to neutral. Slide your hands back in about halfway on your lap. And let's tilt gently the head and the shoulders from side to side. Nice and easy. And we're going to add the arms to the movement. So you're going to swing the arm out and across, and then the other side. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So find your own range of motion here. Maybe you're really tight this morning and your arm is not going all the way toward the ear, and therefore you can do it forward also, a little lower. And also, as you tilt to the side, you might feel a little achy on your back or the side of the body, and so you can go narrow in instead of tilting as much. If everything feels right and you go really deep to the side, use your legs, use your feet pressing down so that the torso feels free and supported at the same time to fluidly bend from side to side. Last round on each side. And back to center, relax into your center. Nice deep breath. In and out. And let's go into some spinal rolls. So we're going to spiral the spine around. And let's go really slow because I already know that some of you may struggle with feeling lightheaded here. So to avoid this dizziness, go really slow in the circle. If you feel good, take another 3 or 4 rolls at your own pace. Loosen up, use feet and hands to press down into the floor and make your spine a little looser. And let's reverse, roll to the other direction, starting slow. Feel the shift of weight from heavy on the chair to out onto the feet. And again, if you're not feeling dizzy here, for the next 3 or 4, you can go a little faster. And back to neutral. Bringing your arms out to the side, roll the wrists. Keep your elbows softly bent, the shoulders down. And reverse. And now, listen carefully and watch. You're gonna flex your right hand and pull your left hand down. And then switch. Left hand flexes and right hand bends in. And you're trying to keep your fingers straight. So even for the hand that is curling in, don't relax your fingers towards you or relax them. Straight down. And we switch from side to side. Keep on breathing. And just a few more here. Feel the action through the arms. And relax and shake it out and down. Up to the side and down, elbows bent, shake your hands. And release, land your hands on top of your lap. Relax from shoulders through the arms into the wrist and hands. And let's bring the hands together in prayer position where you lift the elbows out to the side. To see my forearms are parallel to the floor instead of elbows in. And you're anchoring the thumbs into the center of the chest. And now you're gonna add pressure. You're gonna press your hands against each other actively. Breathe as you press in. And then soften out and away. Come back slowly in. Hands touch, elbows up and press. Feel the activation of the chest and the upper back. Press, press, press. Keep on breathing. Inhale. Exhale, soften away. Come back in, hands to heart, press in, elbows out, breathe, feel the action. Maybe you have a different intensity here now. Maybe you're pressing deeper in or less, just experimenting with different states of tension, and then soften out, float the arms out and away. And one more, hands together, elbows out, push in, and breathe. And soften away. And release. Hands down to the lap. Take a moment here. Feel the arms and shoulders. Feel the chest and the back. And next move. Left palm up, right palm over, facing down. And then you're gonna bring the fingers together and make kind of a clawing. Hands, grab the fingers, and now as soon as I grab the fingers, you're gonna try to separate the elbows out. Feel that action in your arms. And then release and out. And come back in. Hold, tight, tight, tight. Breathe in and release. And come back in. I'm gonna go back to my chair. Pull, pull, pull. Release the bind, arms out. And bring in. Action in your hands. Arms are fully engaged. Release the fingers and out. One more. Pull, pull, pull. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And release. And down. Take a moment here to roll the shoulders. Nice and easy to relax everything from shoulders to arms. And reverse. And relax. Take a couple breaths here. And let's go the other way around. Now we're bringing the right palm up, the left hand on top, and we claw and pull apart. Get that arm action going. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Release the hands and out. Come in, grab the tip of the fingers, pull, pull, pull. Feel that intense action through your arms. Make sure you keep on breathing, don't hold the breath. And release. And again. Lock the claws. And release. Inhale, pull, pull, pull. Keep on breathing. Exhale, release. And one more. Pull, pull, pull. And release. And relax back down. Shoulders rolls. And reverse. And relax. Take a few breaths here. Feel the sensation through your body. Very obviously, you have strong sensations in your arms and shoulders, but can you tap into other sensations in your body, including the sensation of your breathing? And let's go down all the way the opposite end of the body. Let's go down to the feet. And we're going to move that right foot forward, anchor the heel, and start gentle ankle rotation that you're all familiar with unless you're new to this class. Nice and easy, not doing any kind of fancy things here. Just activating that joint. And then reverse. And relax. Flex the foot up, and you're gonna open the foot and close. You're gonna use your foot as a windshield wipe. And feel the action all the way to the hip. Your right knee is not locked, so you might have a little movement here, but feel how the whole leg engages in the rotation of the foot. And back to center. Press the foot down, press the toes down, tighten and activate your right quad, and then soften that action to slide your right foot back in. Realign your feet to parallel and stretch your left foot out. Anchor on your heel to start the rotation of the ankle. And reverse. And back to neutral to then flex the foot up and start opening and closing the left foot and left leg. And one leg and one foot is usually easier than the other one. So that might be your easy leg, or that might be your challenging leg. Whichever of the two, just enjoy whatever is for what it is. Two more. Back to center, flex the foot, and then start pointing the foot down to the ball of the foot, down to the toes, press the toes down, and then contract the quad muscle here. Contract the leg really tight, feel the contraction to the side of the leg, the inner leg, and breathe. And relax. Slide your left foot back in, hands to the chair. And here we're going to see how that goes because my arms tend to be shorter than average, or some of you are short like me. And so therefore, my hands cannot touch fully the base of the chair. If you have arms to the chair, you can go here. And if you're not able, like me, to touch flat with your hands on the chair, then you're going to use the base of the fingers as the support. And from here, you're going to squeeze the belly, press down into the legs, and push your way up. Even if it's very minimum what I'm pushing up. I'm lifting maybe not even a quarter of an inch up. But the action is the lifting. And as I do that lift, I also engage my pelvic floor muscles. And I squeeze them up and then release down. I know that some of you have really long arms. You might be able to lift a lot higher, like literally have space between your buttocks and the chair in a very obvious way. For those who have shorter arms like me, it's just the action of the lift and relax. And press and lift and squeeze the belly and relax. Your spine stays tall, you're not rounding in it. Push and lift from the feet, press into the feet, lighten and relax. Two more. Breathe in and out. And one last. Breathe in and relax and land and tap the belly. That was a deep core activation. So tap the belly, relax the belly. And release. Hands back to the lap. Now we're feeling a little more warm into the belly. You might feel a little more sensations into the low back. Keep on breathing. Sliding your left hand forward on top of the left knee. Grab your right knee. So you're grabbing the front of the knee either this way with your fingers down and your palm is just hugging the kneecap, or you can go sideways this way. That might be a little easier for the move we're gonna do. Press down into the left hand, press down into the left foot, grab that leg and lift, open out, circle down, and pause. Press up, open out, circle down, and land. Lift up, open out, circle back, and down. One more. Lift up, open out, circle down, and land. Both hands to the top of the knees. Give a few rocking motions to the hips, forward and back. And let's go to the other side. Right hand on top of the right knee so that you can press down from the hands into the right foot. And then you grab your left knee, you pull up, open out, roll down, and land. Push up, you're pressing into that right foot to tilt up, open out, roll down, and land. Push, lift, open out, roll down, and land. 2 more. Push, pull up, roll out, roll down, and land. And last one, lift, open, roll down, and land. Both hands to the top of the knees, rock the hips forward and back. Back to center. Now the leg is going to do the work on its own. Slide back, meaning hands sliding back on your leg. Press down into the left foot to make that right leg lighter. And also tilt the right hip back because that gives a little more space for the right leg to lift easier. Lift up and you're going to open and close. And open and close. Open and close. And the foot is above the floor, but not super high. Keep the belly engaged. 2 more. Open out and land. And now you're going to kick your heel, left heel out, left toes out, left heel out, left toes out, left heel out. Rotate the toes in. Rotate your left leg in, both hands on the right leg. Shift forward and breathe. Back leg is totally straight. Doesn't look like because I have a baggy pant, but if I'm tightening here, you'll see that my knee is not dropping in. I'm pressing down into the back foot. Toes in, you're pressing to the outer edge of the foot, to the outer ankle. You're stretching the inner leg away from the floor and your torso, your shoulders are rotating toward the right. And from here, you're gonna keep on pressing down and anchoring with your right hand. And we're gonna swing the left arm forward and back. So your legs here should be really strong to keep you in position. Your right sit bone is pressing down into the chair a lot stronger than the left sit bone that is actually up the chair slightly. Keep on breathing, keep on swinging. And slow down, both hands on top of the knee. Shift your weight to your right leg. Kick your left foot in, left toes in, left foot in, realign, shift back, right toes in, right heel in, right toes in. Bring your feet back to parallel, look down, make sure that's where you're at. Take a moment here, relax on your seat. Nice deep long breath. Pressing down into the right foot. Shift your hip back a little bit. You swing the hip or slide the hip back to lift the left leg up. Hands are resting and we're gonna open and close right above the floor. Feel the action of the belly from the low belly and the inner hips. Tip of the hips are here to right in. Feel all that bend here, really strong, squeezing towards your navel. Keep on breathing here, keep your shoulders down, keep your face relaxed. You can go a lot slower than I'm going. Or you can go a little faster, making sure that you're not losing the connection of the foot that is gliding right above the floor. Next time you're opening out, stay. Land that left foot. Lean onto the left hand. And you're gonna kick your right heel out, right toes out, right heel out, right toes out, right heel out, and turn your toes far in, both hands on the left leg. Now you have a whole inner rotation of the right leg. So your right sit bone is not touching the chair anymore. It's not grounding. All the weight is on the left sit bone and the left leg down to the left foot. And then you're pressing out to the right foot to keep the right leg nice and long and straight. Inner thigh should be engaged here. So if you use your hands to check out how the inner leg is feeling, if it's not engaged, if it's like just like mushy, completely relaxed and soft, that probably means that your right knee is bending down like this, which is not a good thing. You should be pressing away, lengthening and straightening the leg. Lean your weight a little further into the left leg without collapsing forward. And keeping your left hand grounding onto the left knee, your left foot pressing down. I'm gonna release the right arm and swing it forward and back. On breathing, keep your legs actively engaged. More here. Nice and loose from the shoulder down to the hand and fingers. And then slow down. Landing your hand back onto the knee. Pressing up as you bring the, let's start with the other foot first. Right heel in, right toes in, right heel in. Shift your weight back to sitting fully on your chair. Left foot in, left heel in, left toes in. Look down and make sure you're lining your feet to parallel, hip distance apart. Sit up and breathe. Deep inhale and long exhale. Bringing your arms up and trying to bring them up like above your head. If that's not happening, lower forward, hands together, bend the elbows and bring your hands, show you. Ideally, you're bringing your hands to the base of the head, fingers pointing down on your neck. If this is not happening, you can do it here on top of the head. If none of this is happening, hands to the shoulders, bending the elbows. If this, it requires the elbows to be less up. But in any case, you want the elbows reaching into parallel, no elbows out. Here, here, reaching in. And from here, you want to stretch up. So here, you want to stretch up, stretch to the front of the body. Stretch, 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 lift, lift, lift. Feel the pull here in your ribs. Keep on breathing. And all this sitting, right? You're not coming right on the screen like I am. And stretch, 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 press down into the sit bones. And then soften, release the arms out and down and relax. Relax the belly, relax the breath. Make sure your feet are aligned. Mine moved a little bit because I went over there. And from here, we're gonna slide again the hands forward. And this time you're gonna bend the elbows and bring the spine forward. Then when you cannot go any further down, you push through your feet, you roll the tailbone, roll the spine up. And then when you reach up, you bring your hands behind, either to grab the sides of the chair, like the base of the chair, or the sides of the back, or the arms of the chair. And you're gonna stretch up. Gently open the throat and then come back to neutral. Release the hands back to the knees. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, come forward. When you reach that point forward, you cannot go any further. Press from your feet down into the sit bones. Roll the spine. Head is relaxing forward and down. Sit back up. Hands behind, stretch up, open the back, look up. And exhale back to center. Hands to the knees. Let me do 2 more sitting on the side so you can see the movement a little easier here. So here, hands on top of the knees, bending the elbows, lean forward, stretch forward, fold. And then press and push and roll up. That is heavy. Then reach back, either to the back of the chair or the seat, and pull the shoulders back, stretch up, gently arching. And back to neutral, hands to the top of the knees, last one, leaning forward. Bend the elbows, hinge from the hips, come forward. Press, push up, round the spine, head is heavy. Sit up, hands behind, grab the chair, roll the shoulders back, stretch, lift the center of the chest up. And release. Bring your hands back to the top of the knees. Step forward, squeeze your pelvis, squeeze your belly, shift the weight into the feet and lift up. And we're gonna go to standing and work on our chairs a little bit. Keep your chair the way it is, just come behind your chair. I'm gonna move mine sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Feet hip distance apart, parallel, same position that you had when we were sitting. And soft bend in the knees, you're gonna roll the hips around. Nice and loose. So here, as you see my hips rolling sideways, you might not realize that my head stays in position. So I'm gonna face you here. So I'm rolling my hips this way, but my head stays in the center. It's rolling from the waist through the hip. There's a shift from leg to leg. But if someone was to put a drape from here down, you wouldn't notice really that a part of my body is moving because my shoulders and my head stay in the same position. I'm not doing this. That's a different movement. And let's go to the other side. Rolling from the waistline, around the hips. Nice and fluid. Shoulders and head stay in the same position. Knees are softly bent to help the movement be as fluid as it can be. And back to center and neutral. You have one hand on top of the chair, left hand. That we're both there probably because I'm here standing because the chair is here behind. But your hands were here and you were doing the movement right here. So left hand stays on the chair and you're gonna bring your right arm out to the side of the shoulder height. So look to the right and make sure that's the case. And you're gonna lean from the upper torso, from the waistline up, stretch out to the right, and come back in, right hand to the chair. Left arm up, slide and stretch out to the left. So you're literally sliding your ribs out to the left. You're not tilting down. You're sliding out. Your hips stay in position, your legs stay in position. Come back in, left hand to the chair, right arm out, and do your best here. That's an isolating movement, and it's not the most obvious for most of us. Hands here, left arm out, slide out. Feel the stretch from the lower ribs to the hip here. Bring in. Right arm, slide the rib cage out. Back in. And left arm, slide out. Back in. One more on each side. Right arm, slide out. Back in. And left arm, slide out. back in. Bring your right hand, the back of the hand, to your low back. Gonna go this way. Back of the hand to the low back, relax the fingers, pressing gently the back of the hand, really against the low back. And then you're gonna rotate your right elbow and right shoulder to the right as you're pressing your hand, but your hips stay forward. So I'm not doing this. I'm not turning the whole body back. I'm keeping the legs and the hips in position, and I'm pressing against the low back to rotate just the elbow and the shoulder, turn the head over. It might be a very tiny movement depending on how tight you are. And then relax back in. Inhale. Exhale, press and rotate. Inhale, release. Exhale, pause, back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, press, roll the shoulder, elbow, and the head. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, pause, and relax here. 2 more. Press through your feet. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, push against the low back to rotate elbow, shoulder, and head. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, completely relax. Release that right hand. Shake out your right arm. And let's go to the other side. Left hand, place it to the low back. Rest and relax the left shoulder down. And again, press the back of the hand against the low back as you exhale and twist over to the left. Inhale, you release back to center. Exhale, you relax in center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, press against the low back, open shoulder and elbow and head to the left. Inhale, rotate back to center. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. Grow a little taller, top of the head reaching higher. Exhale, start the pivoting, the pressing against the low back. Turn your head over to the left shoulder. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale, soften and relax. And last one, inhale, press through your feet, lengthen up. Exhale, pivot as you press your hand against the low back. Open the shoulder, the elbow, the head turns out. Inhale, rotate back to center. Exhale, soften and relax. Release your left arm down, shake it out from the hand to the rest of the arm and shoulder. And breathe. Both hands on top of your chair. Now we're going to step back as far as we need to lean forward to a straight spine parallel to the floor, bending your knees as deep as you need to keep that spine straight instead of rounding up, hips forward. Push the hips back, the sit bones back, and stretch the spine with a nice slight arching in your back. Then you can gently roll the head from side to side. Head is parallel to the floor. So you're looking from underneath one armpit and arm to the underneath the other armpit and arm. And back to center. This one, we're just gonna do it for a couple seconds. You're gonna drop your head down, chin in. Feel the stretch in your neck. We're not staying too long because if you have high blood pressure, that might not be smart to stay too long here. And then lifting your head again to bring your head to parallel to the floor. Don't look up. Don't look at me. We're going to stretch here just a little bit more. Feel the stretch in the armpits, through the arms, into the side of the torso and the back of the torso. And feel the stretch also in the back of the legs. And pressing into the chair, pop the back of the shoulders up. Come up, walk forward. Find that easy position, standing with ease and comfort. Elbows are bent, dropping down. And we're gonna all rotate to the right. So my chair is in front of me, for you is right here, and you're gonna turn out to the right, right? So you'll be looking at me turning your head to the left, probably, right? Right arm to the side, you're gonna lift your right arm up, and then lean over toward the screen, towards me. So you might be looking again out to the left, and that's fine, and you pull and stretch through the right side. Now you can find your stretch here. You can relax your head looking forward. Instead of looking towards me, you look in front of you to the side that you're positioned, to the right of the chair. And breathe. And then pull back up. Bring your right arm down to the right and tilt your head and shoulders gently out to the right. Make sure you're not overdoing it and like falling over to the right. Keep your left hand on the chair and you feel the nice gentle pull or deep pull from the back of the left ear through the left shoulder down to the left arm. And come back up. Let's rotate 180 to the other side. Reposition, right hand to the chair. Feet hip distance apart and parallel. Bring your left arm up. Lean over to the right. Breathe, pull and stretch. Deep long breath. And push away. Use your right hand to push against the chair to lift up. Release your left arm out and down. And start gently sliding that left hand, left arm to the side as you tilt out to the left. Your head is dropping to the left shoulder. You're not bringing your right shoulder up to the ear. You keep it down. You keep your right arm relaxed. And feel now the pull from the back of the right ear through the side of the neck, top of the shoulder, down to the right arm. And breathe. And coming back to center. And rotate back towards the chair. And we're going to do a little bouncing of the knees here. You're bending the knees up and down without locking the knees back. We're not going this way. You keep them softly bent and you bounce. And as you keep on bouncing, keep your jaw relaxed, keep your face relaxed. A little more bouncing. Stop the bouncing, bend the knees deeper and stick the tailbone back. As if you were gonna, that's the same movement you do when you wanna sit on a chair. You lean forward a bit and you're sticking your butt cheeks back to find the chair behind you. So that's the same movement, same idea. Bend the knees, stick back, keep the torso lifting, don't round because probably that's what you do to sit on the chair. Now you're rounding and finding some kind of weird position of the back. So try to stay long, engage the belly, sit back, or maybe a little deeper, come back up. All this is being done by pressing in the feet. Make sure the weight is not completely shifted to the heels. So the knees are right in alignment with the toes, but your sit bones are reaching back. And one or two more. If your knees are bothering you, don't go as deep. Just do it a little bit. but still with the intention of reaching back, not all the way back. If your knees are slightly bent, the proportion on how far back you go is in relationship with how much you bend the knees. And come back up. And now that's going to be the big challenge of the day. You're going to shift your weight toward the ball of the feet and see how much you can lift the heels up. And that might not be challenging for some of you, but for some also it can be very challenging to have this balance. Make sure you're not completely shifting forward and holding on the chair as such. Make sure you're not leaning back and trying to lift the heels because it won't happen. So you find that shift forward that is just enough to lift the heel but still stay tall. And release. And you might be able to progressively lift the heels a little higher. And don't be afraid because you have a chair to support you as needed if you were to lose your balance. You can press also the hands against the chair to go a little higher. And one more equal weight on both feet. You lift up, you stay. Shift your weight to your left foot, see if you can tap with the right foot. And then ground the right foot, shift the weight to the right foot, and see if you can tap with your left toes. And let's do it one more time to the left, tap with the right toes. And shift out to the right, and tap with the left toes. Come back to center, lower the heels down, and come back to balance. Nice and easy and soft. Take a couple breaths here. And let's go back to our chairs. Face you again to close this session. Come back to your seated position right at the edge of the chair. Hands resting on your lap. And find your seat, find your landing. Make sure that you're not rounding back, you're not collapsing. Press into the sit bones, roll the hips slightly forward. Feel how that broadens also the low back. And feel the shoulders floating right on top of the hips. No curling in like this. The shoulders open and back, neither all the way back to struggling and bringing the shoulder blades crunching in. Just soften here, soften the shoulders down, chin slightly in, so you're not poking your chin forward. Press it in and you notice immediately the relief that you'll feel on the back of the neck and the upper shoulders. And you can try for yourself poking the chin out versus bringing it in. Maybe you give it a little tilt of the head, tiny bitty from side to side to find your central point here. And then abide and commit to that point right in the middle, making sure everything is nice and soft and self-sustained. And then relax the eyelids, allowing them to close. Find the breath again, nice and easy, moving in and out of the nostrils. Expand the breath fully on the breath in. Release deep, 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 fully out on the breath out. Inhale deep. Exhale deep. Keep on consciously breathing deep in, long out. But now start walking your attention, shifting your inner eyes to different spots in your body. Finding those spots on your own first, because you don't all have the same body sensations right now. So going to your own inner mapping of what feels good, what feels still tight, what needs more attention, which areas are still relaxed that you barely feel them anymore. And consciously try to cover the whole body through that inner scan, from one sensation to another sensation. Even if the sensation is a tingling, itching, wanting to move, stay where you are. Try to not move anything, including if you feel that something is itching. Just step back and prevent yourself from scratching and watch the itching for what it is. It's just an itch. It will eventually go away. It's not life-threatening. It's not essential for you to keep on going today. It's just a slight discomfort. So you may experience some places that have discomfort and are asking you to act upon it, but you're not acting upon it. You're just sitting back and chilling and watching. And then you might come across also areas that feel really, really good. And when you come across those, don't just go away saying, okay, checked, it's feeling good there. Just stay a little longer there and really embrace what feeling good is. Bathe and soak in that bodily sensation of ease and comfort, bringing you and giving you almost that inner smile that is reflected on your face. Maybe there's softening throughout the face happening when you hit one of those spots that is nice and comfy. And then from all those various sensations in the body and what you're perceiving through your senses, also get in touch with the support of the floor with your feet and relax into the weight of the legs a little deeper. And then feel the sensation of support from the chair into your sit bones. And allow the torso to relax and drop its weight a little softer onto the chair. And a little heavier too. From the support of feet and sit bones, can you perceive that your back and your torso may relax a little bit more and soften? And therefore, naturally, the shoulders may be sliding away from the ears a little lower as the head finally refines its position right on top of everything else and may feel a little floatier and easier to hold right on top of the spine. Relax inside your mouth, in the space between upper and lower teeth. Relax your tongue and your jaw. Relax the eyes into the back of the eye sockets. And feel now the quality of your breath. Maybe softer, smoother, more subtle. Connect to your hands. Feel the contact of your palms, inner fingers with the top of the thighs. And moving your hands from the legs to the belly. Kind of framing the navel here, not in a perfect way, but just gently landing and resting your hands on each side of the belly. And then pressing with your hands into the belly a little bit, add that extra action and pressure. And then using clockwise or counterclockwise to move and rotate your hands, rubbing the belly. Stopping the rubbing of the belly to move your hands up to your chest, resting the hands on each side of the chest. Feel the warmth, feel the connection first. Then press the hands a little deeper in. Give a little rotation here. It's not gonna be as major as the rubbing of the belly, but it can still happen where there's a gliding of the breast flesh against the rib cage. Then you're gonna move your right hand to the left side of the neck, down into the bridge between the neck and the tip of the shoulder. And there's a big muscle here, and you're gonna squeeze it a little bit with your fingers and the base of your palm, the base of the thumb. Squeeze it up and down from the shoulder to the side of the neck. Release your right hand back to the right side of the chest. You use your left hand this time to the right side of the neck, down to the shoulder. Grab that fibrous tight muscle here and squeeze it. Using the whole fingers, the base of the palm, base of the big thumb to squeeze and release that muscle. And release. Slide your hands to cup your eyes with your palms, resting your fingers to your forehead, your thumbs to the side of the eyes, to the temples. And feel the slight pressure of the base of the palms to the cheekbone and the base of the fingers to your eyebrows. And there's space between your eyes and the center of the palms. And with your eyes closed, roll your eyes behind your eyelids a few times in one direction. And a few times in the other direction. Relax your eyes, movement back into its center in the resting position. Take a couple more breaths here, relaxing deeper and deeper into your eye space. And when you're ready, gently releasing your hands down, opening your eyes, coming back to your room, to the screen. And this is where we finish our class today. And I'm gonna come to you. And